And welcome back to our second episode of Sorcerer King. Right, well then, in the last episode we just fought a battle, we've expanded Attica a little bit, and we've explored a little bit of the terrain. We're still waiting on our scout to come out next turn, but our champion leveled up, and I couldn't quite fit that into the video, so this is what we're going to look at today. Now each champion and hero, or hero if you prefer, are completely unique. Their skill trees are all very, very different. They all perform in very different ways. Drogon, the dwarf, is a berserker, an out-and-out berserker. Dwarf of Fury is one of his sort of signature attacks. It's effectively a whirlwind attack that damages anything nearby, including friendly units. There aren't really a lot of friendly fire abilities in the game, I've noticed. That's more the domain of spells, but in this case, Drogon is just that damned hardcore, so I won't spend too much time just going over the skill tree, but one thing that we really want to do is that Drogon has an ability all the way over here called Dwarven Rampage. Every time the Dwarf Lord lands a killing blow, he gets to take another move. Right. Also, Polar Vortex draw all enemies in towards Drogon and hit all for 5 cold damage, meaning as long as you've plinked something to begin with, you can move into an open area of the map, draw every enemy on the battlefield towards you, so you can have at least 8 standing around you, being a tile-based system. You can then use Dwarven Fury, kill something, hopefully you've killed something on the Polar Vortex, you then use Dwarven Fury, kill something, and keep killing. It is insane. He's a fantastic hero. But what we're going to do is we're going to get Dwarven Fury, and he has a second level up. We're not going to go down here quite yet, we're going to get Beardsmith, which is good. It gives you a defensive boost in cold terrain. Well, we're going to get Merciless Strength, so +1 attack bonus for every enemy on the battlefield. And having picked that up, we're going to continue down to Dwarven Rampage. That is our priority in leveling up Drogon. There we go. Idle units, there we are. Right, so this is pretty much the edge of the corner up here by the look of it. I'm going to bring our heroes down, I think. Yes, well, we've got some pretty pathetic little units down here that we'll sort out, and we have our scout. Fantastic. Now to begin with, I'm going to bring our scout down in the southeasterly direction, I think. And also, unlike regular units, scouts have an ability to ignore the terrain penalties on all sorts of different types of terrain, which is excellent, and they have a movement of 5. And we found a bandit encampment. That'll be one that we are going to take on very, very soon, I think. Definitely. And we're going to build a garden. We're going to build a garden in the city. There we go. Moving through the city, coincidentally, doesn't actually cost a movement. I moved from here to here, and it's only cost 1 movement point, so not going to complain. We'll just... In fact, now this is a point where we can auto-resolve. This game's auto-resolve system is absolutely excellent. It's the most fair auto-resolve system I've seen. In games like Age of Wonders 3, I've actually been very, very hit and miss about whether or not I want to resolve, because very often it means the death of a unit that really died needlessly. What was the point? Oh, good lord. Okay, now this is a little worrying. Very, very close to our city. This monstrous being here, Agathon, is one of the Sorcerer King's lieutenants, or lieutenants, if you prefer. This lieutenant of the Sorcerer King can bathe an entire army in flames. We don't want to get on his bad side, but we need to kill, ultimately, both lieutenants to unlock the passage to the Sorcerer King's citadel. But it's actually good to know. It's good to know that he's wandering around this area of the map. I just hope he doesn't come too far north. Having to deal with that right now would not be happy times. Not be happy times at all. Now then, let's see. We've got a lot of summon spells. An awful lot of summon spells. Blimey. And apart from Ray's Skeleton, which I don't really care about, they all take quite a while to... Wisp is alright, because it gives you sort of an AoE heal ability. You have to plan a bit ahead for it, but it's quite good. Harvest Forest. Actually, You know, I've never really prioritized this spell, but thinking about it, you can actually make nice pathways. You know, you can open up routes for your units to explore before you've actually got roads. Let's go with the extra healing options, because we do want to keep our units alive. Now, the only negative thing I am going to say about the auto-resolve combat system, and in fact, we can actually see it in action here. I'm just going to battle this one normally, just so that people can, just to help show what I mean. Incidentally, all these units were hurt in the previous battle, not in the battle I auto-resolved. There was no damage taken there. There got me, wolf pup, you little git. Right, yeah. And this is a problem I've seen with 1.1. So if we just move off this tile, there's a Darkling here. We auto-resolved a combat with that Darkling earlier, but one that I don't know if this is a design feature or a flaw. But when we auto-resolved the combat with the Darkling, our units automatically moved onto that space, and now it's glitched. Okay, we had a battle with this Darkling over here. We didn't move onto the space. So this, even though this is now an enemy that's going to be standing right here for the rest of the game, it's not actually standing there as far as I can tell. Yeah, we move onto its space, nothing happens. It's basically a glitched out enemy, and that happens in one. It's a shame. It happens in 1.1 of the game, but what can you do? Spoils of victory. I said in the video 1 we were going for that. It will benefit us a great deal more at the start of the game. The earlier we take it, the better it is. I'm wondering now about sending my scout in this direction. This could lead to very unhappy times. Let's bring him back the other way. We'll just kill this Trog. We'll go into battle for this one. And I need to actually start thinking about our wolves, because they're getting rather beaten up as it stands. Could do with crafting some minor healing potions. I think that would benefit us. We do have one, which I'm going to use. As you can see, using an item does take up the unit's turn, unlike the Sovereign cast. It's worth noting. Yeah, we'll just strike him. Ouch. Skip some turns. And the Trog got an extra turn. Was not anticipating that. There's an initiative tracker on the left-hand side of the map, and I wasn't paying attention there, so never mind. But we leveled up again. I'm not going to complain too greatly. Glacial Touch. Every time Drogon is attacked, the attacker loses 1 initiative. It's alright. It's not brilliant. It's not bad. Initiative can become very powerful later on, so it is something to bear in mind. I think we're going to move down here. Bring our scout up. That does annoy me. That really does annoy me, having that enemy sitting there. So, and we have more. Ooh, we've got more items. So we've found the Chain Gauntlets recipe, which is very nice, and the Ring of Extreme Haste recipe. Now, we're actually going to have a look at our crafting just for a moment and see if we can defend our units a little better. It would be nice if we could. That's something for later, especially if we can get something that raises tactical health regen to make up for the negative. I don't think we've got any... I don't know if we've got anything about that, actually. We could actually do that. We could actually... we could actually create a Band of the Berserker and attach it to Drogon with an enchantment. We might need these later, but just at the moment, I'm not seeing an issue with this plan. So we'll equip this to Drogon. We'll go to enchantments, and we see that he's got the Ring of the Berserker equipped. We are then going to add some mana berries to this enchantment slot. And you can see that this +1 tactical health regen has actually negated the penalty that we had before. So we now have an enchanted item, and that is how simple the crafting and enchantment system actually is. It does get a bit... When you have absolutely loads of ingredients in this box here, it can get a bit unmanageable, but if you've used it, if you've got to grips with it, it's not too bad. I don't mind it too much. So, now then, we do want some... We can't create any more Chain Gauntlets, because I've just used up the Clouded Rubies, which perhaps is the negative I was looking for before. Leather gloves, I'd rather save the leather and use it for something else later. Plus 1 defense is not that huge. So let's come over here. Excuse me. We shall howl. We'll let the Trog advance to... He's an archer! I am not paying attention, ladies and gentlemen! Now we're going to use Drogon's number 1 ability command. Target unit takes its next turn immediately. That's an amazing ability. I absolutely adore it. And we shall do a crippling blow. For the win. For the win. Okay, we'll just keep adventuring over here. My city is idle. So we're going to produce a work camp to get +2 production. It'll help. It will help. Actually, what does the granary need? The granary... Here's something. Here's another quibble. If any developers are actually watching this Let's Play, I would really thoroughly like... I know it's going to take me 8 turns to build this granary, but I don't know the exact amount of hammers. I don't know if it's worthwhile getting the granary first and then the work camp, or is the work camp going to lower the granary from 8 turns? I simply don't know. I do not have this information. So if you're watching, that's something. Please take that into consideration. I would be very much obliged. We're going to get the work camp, and then we're going to focus on gaining pioneer units. And we want these because we want to go out, and obviously we want to settle places. However, and I've not talked about this, in Sorcerer Kings, the world has been ravaged. There are only certain places that we can settle, which, like here for instance, we have this fertile terrain. Now, in this case, this monster den has a zone of control, an area of influence, and we cannot build inside this area of influence. So if we wanted to settle in this place, start a new city, we'd have to destroy this den first. Now, we can also build outposts, and outposts are great for capturing remote resources. Well, a city could be built here, but for capturing remote resources in areas where we couldn't otherwise build a city, which is going to be fantastic for getting these shards. And final point is that the Sorcerer King wants to destroy these shards to stop us from progressing. So the more shards we can capture early on, the better off we will be come the late game. So we'll see how this goes. We'll go to this inn. Gumshoe. You stumble into an inn on a dark and stormy night. Inside, the landlord rushes up to you, his face pale. There's been a murder, he breathlessly reports. I'm going to solve that murder, that's what I'm going to do. Or I'm going to find a safer inn, that's what I'm going to do. We'll go with the first. The landlord takes you up to the murdered man's room. The man is, as promised, dead, with a large knife sticking out of his back. Also in the room are the 3 other people in the inn, a maid, a retired colonel, and a nervous travelling knife salesman. Question the subjects. You shrewdly ask them who murdered this man. All agree that it was probably the nervous travelling knife salesman. I get the worst blackout sometimes, he confirms, and then wake up covered in blood, he asks. He adds, covered in blood. Now, I've only ever accused the nervous travelling knife salesman. Being the sovereign of a nation, I doubt detective work is our forte. So I've always gone with the obvious choice. And I think I will again, honestly. I just find it amusing, so this is all good. You point at the man who obviously did it, and he allows himself to be led away by the authorities. However, as he's being led out, he turns to you and says, "If you can get me out of this, I can give you a screaming good deal on some knives." So what we're going to do, we're going to lock the villain up, lock him up and take his knives away, or lean in and whisper, "You can offer a lot more than that." I think we're going to lock him up and confiscate the knives, because let's be honest, as a good sovereign, we do not want to lock him up with his knives. This seems to sort of defeat the purpose of having a safe prison or detention centre. So, most of the knives are horrifically cheap and worthless, but several of them look stab-worthy. You take them along with some other items of interest. Excuse me as I butcher the text. Oh, never mind. Anyway, -4 Doomsday, +1 Wisdom. You see, it was the wise move to take away the knives. Who would have thought that? Bottle of Flight allows you to escape from tactical throwing knives. Cursed Scroll can be very handy against heavily armoured units. That's a good find. Silver Band and a Glass Flagon. We can finally craft a single minor healing potion. Aren't we lucky? Thank God. Alright. Actually, speaking of which, Drogon does need a little bit of love at the moment, so we'll give him that. Idle units? We could do with capturing this bandit camp. Ah, there's a Warlock's hut down here that I didn't notice, probably because the lieutenant was stomping all over it. But we're going to have to come in this direction anyway, so I see no harm at all in taking down these bandit camps here. It's good XP. It's good XP. And here we also see that this is part of the Sorcerer King's realm. And his units will constantly spawn from this area. So in actual fact, getting an outpost up here, which will automatically fire it at... basically, it does HP damage to enemy armies that are passing through the area. So getting an outpost here at some point, and actually claiming this metal in the process, will be very handy. As I said before, I spoke briefly in the first video about crystals and metals. These are basically advanced resources for advanced unit building that we can't really do yet. So we'll do this in the future. Howl away, my little wolf compadre. Nom. And run up and hit him. Hit him in the face. There we go. Take him straight down. Ouch. Oh, dodge. Good job, little wolfie. Excellent stuff. Right. Yep, you can run up here. Take a chunk. For a whopping 4 damage. And you can finish the job. That bandit... Did I even equip the Band of the Berserker? Oh, good grief. I've actually forgotten to equip the artifact I just created specifically for Drogon. Absolutely excellent work there. Fantastic. I'm in awe of my ability at commanding this army. We'll sort that out after this is done anyway. Cedarwood. Yep, that's fine. Right, let's just sort out that little faux pas. Oh no, we did equip it. Okay, excellent. I wasn't a total and utter arse. I can live with this. Now, when you attack bandit camps, it's always worth seeing how many archers there are. In this case, I don't really want to know, and I do want this shard sooner rather than later. It might actually be worth even just building an outpost there until I can bring the zone of control over, if indeed I even can. I didn't see any tiles to be built in this general direction apart from... Well, we'll see. We'll see. I might be barking up the wrong tree. Let's give this a go. Let's give this a go. Summon our friend the bear. He'll take care of some of the archers for us. Now, this Arctic Wolf Cub is in a lot of danger if the archers pick him off. I hadn't really anticipated that, but we'll howl. +1 attack, and we'll start picking through these archers. Oh, he dodged. He dodged. What a git. And this guy's rather powerful. Attack rating of 14. Can't kill the wolf, though Drogon might be able to. We did pick up his whirlwind technique. It's just a question of... Oops. It's just a question of where do we need to move our units so they won't get too hammered effectively. We're actually going to put the wolf here because I don't want him to get completely surrounded and have too many attack penalties leveled his way. Drogon can move up here, smash the wolf's face in. There we go. Ooh, 45 great. Yep, he's a monster. Already a monster. That wolf cub's dodge is through the... I had to say it, didn't I? I had to say it. What is his dodge? 16. Yeah, it's actually pretty damn good at this level. That'll do 4 damage. Let's see if I can do... I've just gone out of range because I didn't actually look at it. Ah, well, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Let's come up here. Yum. Sort this lot out with my whirlwind. I do love the animations. I must say they really got those right in this game. Okay, going to keep going here. Just put him into cover. Put him into cover. That's the best thing we can do with him. Nyom. Yep. Hopefully... Ah, good, it's the bear's turn. Right. Now, apart from... Oh! So close. So close. Well, the wolf's not going to cut the archer, but he can cut this guy. He can attempt to cut that guy down. Drogon, do your mighty work. Now you may think, why am I bothering to keep a unit as weak as the Wolf Cub alive? And the fact is that with some enchantments, I don't have many other units to spare, and with the right items and artifacts, if I can find them, we can actually make them quite a decent combatant. Well, that is somewhat luck-based, but hey, I may as well give it a try if I can. Well, you're screwed, aren't you, mate? Anyway, champion level up. Freezing Strike. This is a very nice ability. Hit a line of 3 units in front of you with an Icy Blast. May freeze units for a turn. Not bad at all. City level up. We shall take the food, production, and enchantment. And we shall continue. Now we've got 49 mana. I could cast an enchantment on the city. I could do this. City is currently level 3. I think it might behoove us to do this. So basically that spell gives us 1 food per city level, so the higher level the city becomes, the more valuable that spell is, and you can also stack it, which is nice. You have cleansed the land of a monster lair. Those monsters, or economically disadvantaged ruffians, as the case may be, will think twice before returning to this area. And I've just realised we've actually got some more flagons. I'm going to craft some more minor healing potions. It is very worthwhile at this stage in the game. One other thing that I would like with the UI is the ability to click on something and craft more than one. I have not been able to find a way to do this. That would be great, please developers, if we could have that. Looter's Army, let's go and get more XP. Nothing wrong with XP. Apart from a wolf cub who's probably about to die. That is wrong with XP. Alright, we'll just make sure we take care of this archer quickly. We'll heal him. I just skipped the bear's turn like a total tit. Right, great. Fantastic. That was exactly what I wanted to do. And I've just... This isn't going so well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh well. We'll have Drogon command himself to take another turn. And wipe these fine disadvantaged ruffians out. Now he's getting wailed on because of the penalties from having too many people attacking him. Move him back up. Pass his turn. Feral Bite. That's what I wanted to do in the first place. He stands to do more damage than the other ruffians, so we'll just try and take him down. Excellent. Fantastic. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm using a lot of mana to sustain my troops at the moment, and to be honest, in the early game, I think that can only be a very wise idea. So we'll just keep going. There should be a gang up bonus here, so this little wolf cub does 7 damage. Fantastic. Keeping on trucking, keeping on leveling up. That's what we need to do. So we know this is the Sorcerer King's lair. The Sorcerer King's actually started quite close to us. So we're just going to continue to explore down this way. We'll probably bring our heroes back over. Here we go. Now this is where the Sorcerer King will try and attack the shards in the world to stop us from actually gaining them. Here we go here. So the shard over here has been attacked. It's not been destroyed. It takes him a few attempts to sort this out. But it's something we want to avoid. Courage is a fantastic unit enchantment. We will definitely want that, but it costs a mana upkeep, which again, it does not say in this tooltip. So, we don't want it just yet, because you don't really have the mana to spare. I think... Now, this is an interesting spell. Shrink. Target enemy's attack is halved. but gains plus 30% dodge. It's actually not such a big deal, because if you're using special, if you then focus that enemy down with special abilities, his dodge doesn't even apply. So it's actually not a bad ability. However, I do want to take Cloudwalk early, because I do want to have the additional movement. And we're going to keep going just for a little bit longer. Just for a little bit longer. Idle units. That was turnover. This is an army of combat rating 34. We do not want to deal with this just yet. But regardless, I feel that that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you again ever so much for watching. And join me next time when we continue our quest to dominate and cast down the Sorcerer King. So until there, take care and good gaming. Catch you next time.